if you're trading with a small account, maybe $5, $10, $20, or even $50, there's one mistake you cannot afford to make, okay? Trying to trade like someone with a $1,000 account. Now, with a small balance, your biggest goal should not be making huge profits quickly. Your first goal is survival. Because if you can protect a small account, grow it consistently, and develop discipline, then when you eventually trade with a bigger capital, you'll already have the skills you need. Now, so in this video, I'm going to show you what I believe is one of the best ways to approach a small Deriv account in 2026, okay? Or generally in trading. We'll talk about the market to trade, your stake size, when to enter, when to stop, and most importantly, how to avoid blowing the account. Let us get directly into it. As we start, please ensure like and subscribe, and thank you for watching our video. Right, let us start. Stop trying to double your account every day. The first thing you need to understand is this: a small account does not mean you need to take huge risks, okay? This is where many traders go wrong, okay? Someone deposits $10 and immediately starts thinking, how can I turn this into $50 today? And because of that mentality, they start using $1, $2, or even $5 stakes. One bad sequence and the entire account disappears. Instead, think differently. If you have $10, your objective should be to keep that $10 alive while slowly growing it or increasing it. I repeat, if you have $10, your objective should be to keep that $10 account active and alive while still increasing it. Even a small percentage gain consistently is better than doubling your account today and losing everything tomorrow, okay? Number two, or part two, choose one market. Now, one of the biggest mistakes beginners make is jumping between too many Deriv markets. Today you're trading over under, tomorrow you're trading rise and fall, then even and odd, then matches and differs, then volatility indices, and that makes it extremely difficult to become good at anything. For a small account, I would rather have you choose one strategy and learn it properly. For example, if you prefer digit trading, you can focus specifically on over under. You don't need to master every contract on the Deriv. You need one setup that you understand extremely, extremely well. Right? Part 3. Why over and under can work well for small accounts. Now listen carefully to this, okay? For many beginners, one of the markets I like looking at is over and under, all right? And there's a reason. You can structure your trades around safer barriers instead of constantly chasing the highest payout. For example, rather than immediately trying aggressive barriers, a beginner can study markets such as over 1, over 2, under 8, or under 7. But understand something very important. A higher probability does not mean guaranteed profit. You still need analysis, you still need risk management, and you still need to know when not to enter. Never enter simply because the payout looks attractive, okay? Number 4, or part 4, the small account strategy. Now let us get into the actual approach, all right? Let's say you have a $10 account. Instead of risking $1 or $2 per trade, start with the smallest sensible stake available for the contract you are trading. The idea is to make one individual loss almost meaningless to your total balance. Why? Because one loss becomes emotionally painful, and that is when traders start making terrible decisions. They increase their stake, they revenge trade, they abandon their strategy, and suddenly a small loss becomes a blown account. So, your first rule should be protect your capital before thinking about any profit, okay? Part 5, wait for your setup. Now, this is extremely important. You should not be trading every few seconds just because you have money in your account. Don't just trade because you have $50, because you have 100, because you have 5,000. No, I would rather take 3 high quality trades than 20 randomized trades, okay? If you're using digit statistics, wait until your conditions appear. Study how the digits are behaving. Look for the conditions required by your strategy, as I've always said. And if those conditions aren't there, do nothing. Sometimes, as I've always said, sometimes the best trade is no trade, okay? Small accounts normally get destroyed because traders feel they have to constantly be in the market. You don't have to be, okay? Number 6, have a daily target, all right? Now, suppose you start with $10. Don't tell yourself, I need to make another $10 today. No. You can instead have a small target, a 20% target based on your account. Maybe your target is a few percent. For that particular session, it can be 5%, 15, 10, 20, which are 20% being the maximum. Once you achieve it, close Deriv, close your laptop, and that is probably one of the hardest things for many traders to actually do. Okay? Because once you start winning, your brain tells you one more trade, then another, then another. Eventually, you give everything back to the market. Having a profit target isn't just about making money, it is about knowing when to stop. Okay? Number 7, your stop loss is even more important. And just like you have a profit target, you need a loss limit. Okay? Suppose you take a few trades and things simply aren't working. Okay? Stop. Don't start saying, I'll increase my stake so I can recover everything. This is exactly how small accounts disappear. If your strategy isn't performing well during that session, there will always be another opportunity. Even though not that day, tomorrow, you can always come back tomorrow. I've always said that. Okay? Protect the balance so you can trade another day. Okay? Number 8, never, and this I know can be a bit never martingale a small account or never use huge martingales on a small account. Now, this brings me to probably the biggest warning in this entire video. Okay? Be extremely careful with your martingale. Okay? You lose 0.50, then stake 1, lose again, stake 2, lose again, stake 4, lose again. You can see how quickly this gets dangerous. All right? A $10 account simply doesn't have enough capital to survive an aggressive martingale sequence. In fact, if you have a small account and your bot fails to recover 2 times, stop that bot. Okay? Don't just sit there and watch your account being washed away. Okay? Stop that bot. Okay? And eventually, every trader will experience a losing streak somewhere. So if your entire strategy depends on continuously increasing the stake or continuously depending on the martingale, one bad sequence can wipe you out. Okay? Number 9, don't withdraw everything. I repeat, don't withdraw everything. Now, let's say your strategy actually starts working properly. All right? Your $10 becomes 12, then maybe 15, then 20. And one thing you consider is separating your original profit from your profits. Okay? For example, as the account grows, you can occasionally withdraw part of the profit while leaving enough money in the account to continue trading comfortably. Okay? The objective is gradually to move from trading aggressively because you're desperate and want money to trading calmly because your capital is protected. The psychological difference is massive. Okay? Number 10, compound slowly. This is where a small account can become interesting. Suppose your account grows. Instead of dramatically increasing your stake after every win, increase your stake slowly as your overall balance increases. Use a stake of between 2 to 5% of your account. If today you use 2% of $100, that will be $2. If you use 2% of $200, that is about 4. So you can see the higher the capital you have, the more the stake also increases. Okay? So increase your stake based on the capital you have to avoid any confusion. Okay? So your risk remains proportional to the account. All right? Your account grows, your stake grows gradually, your potential profit grows gradually, and that is very different from trying to turn $10 to 1,000 in a week. The goal is sustainable growth, not gambling for a miracle. Okay? Number 11, the real strategy. And here is something many people probably don't want to hear. The best small account strategy is not some magical indicator. It is not some secret bot. It is not some hidden Deriv trick. The strategy is one market, one proven setup, small stakes, few high quality trades, a strict profit target, a strict loss limit, no emotional stake increases, and patience. And that is basically that. Okay? But simple does not mean easy. All right? The trader who can actually follow these rules consistently has a much better chance of keeping the account alive. Underline alive. Okay? Now, what can we conclude from all this? So, what is the best Deriv strategy for a small account in 2026? For me, if you are starting with a limited capital, I would focus on a simple strategy such as over and under, especially using more conservative barriers while you're still learning. Okay? But the market itself is only half of the strategy. The real advantage comes from protecting your balance. Start small, wait for proper setups, don't chase losses, don't overtrade, and don't try to become rich from one trading session. Because your first objective with a small account isn't to make a fortune, your first objective is to become the type of trader who can be trusted with a bigger account. And once you can successfully manage $10, $20, or even $50 consistently, increasing your capital becomes much easier than trying to recover blown accounts every week. If you found this helpful, please ensure you subscribe to the Deriv Navigator Academy and turn on your notifications and check your description if you want to join our live trading sessions. Another thing, guys, online classes are ongoing. If you're interested with that, please ensure you contact us. Details are in the description. To get bots, documents, and all the other trading materials, you can also get our contacts in the description. Thank you guys for watching this video. Keep on trading, keep on pushing, and let us meet in the next one. Cheers.